Welcome back, and today we're going to talk about magnesium. Magnesium is a very important and essential mineral that has many important functions in our bodies. Today we will discuss the benefits of having adequate amounts as well as the risk of being deficient in magnesium. In our bodies, it acts as a cofactor for over 300 enzymes. One very important enzyme that it acts as a cofactor for is with DNA polymerase, an enzyme involved with copies of DNA and important with growth and the production of sperm and egg cells. Countless problems may surface when we don't take in the recommended daily allowance of magnesium. That would be 420 milligrams for males and 320 milligrams for females. Unfortunately, it is very difficult to accurately measure the amount of magnesium in the blood. The total amount of magnesium in our bodies can be broken down like this. 50% of magnesium is stored in the bone, 50% in the intracellular space, that's inside the red blood cell, and that leaves 1% in the blood. Of that 1%, 20% is bound to protein, and 10% is complex with other anions such as phosphate. And then 70% of that 1% is biologically active. So now it's easy to see why getting blood levels of magnesium correlates poorly with the total body magnesium content. Although the amount circulating in the blood is small, when there is a deficient of magnesium, it can cause other electrolytes to be out of balance, such as hypokalemia, that's low potassium. That can cause cardiac arrhythmias and other cardiac problems. Also, hypercalcemia, which is high calcium, that can cause neuromuscular irritability, muscle spasms and cramps. I'm sure we've all experienced that at times. We have a significant problem in our country because the amount of magnesium that is available now is much less than that was available 100 years ago. Some reasons why we are so deficient today. Soil depletion. The soil today is significantly depleted of magnesium and other minerals compared to 100 years ago. If you compare a fruit or a vegetable from then to now, it has much less magnesium. Also, GMOs, digestive diseases, and medications are other reasons why the body has a difficult time with absorbing magnesium. Some experts believe up to 70 to 80% of the U.S. population is magnesium deficient. Vitamin D can't be metabolized without sufficient magnesium levels, meaning vitamin D remains unstored and inactive for as many as 70 to 80% of Americans. The worrisome concern is that this percentage may well be underestimated because, as we mentioned earlier, serum magnesium is the least sensitive way to detect total body deficiency. When you are looking at blood results, you want to get magnesium levels measured inside the red blood cell, serum, and the urine. Why all three? Because each has its own strength and limitations. Red blood cell magnesium can be more sensitive. It can be a more sensitive marker of deficiency. You may see its decline of magnesium before you see the serum magnesium decline. However, low red blood cell magnesium might not mean you don't have enough magnesium. It could mean that you're not getting the magnesium into your cells. If the serum magnesium is normal or high and the red blood cell magnesium is low, then you probably have a problem getting magnesium into your red blood cells. And this could be due to low insulin, inadequate B6, another reason to take that B complex vitamin daily. Or the most common scenario is that you don't have enough salt. This is especially true if you are eating a well-balanced whole food diet, which would mean low sodium among other things. Most people are eating a diet full of highly processed foods, fast foods, and foods with lots of sodium and sugar. However, if your diet is balanced and you find you have low magnesium in your red blood cells, you may need to add a little salt to your diet. If urinary magnesium is high and serum magnesium is low, then you know you are losing magnesium in the urine And that would be a clue that maybe supplementation is warranted. But you may have to work harder on fixing the problem of whatever is causing the urinary loss. If urinary magnesium is normal and the serum and red blood cell magnesium are both low, then that's a case where you just don't have enough magnesium. And that's where increasing the magnesium in your diet and supplements is warranted. There are controllable factors of magnesium deficiency, primarily the American diet, which was mentioned earlier, but also our lifestyles, which include lots of coffee, alcohol, colas, demineralized water, and the constant chronic state of stress. I'll say that again, the constant chronic state of stress that we're in. The most common symptoms seen with magnesium deficiency are leg cramps. It usually is one of two minerals, either magnesium or potassium. Number 2, insomnia and fatigue. Part of what magnesium does is it relaxes the body. It's often referred to as the body's relaxation. If your body is not relaxing and it's tense, constantly in that flight or flight mode, it can lead to fatigue. Number 4, muscle pain, fibromyalgia. According to a recent medical study, they found the number one supplement that made a difference with fibromyalgia was magnesium. Studies found that taking 300 to 500 milligrams once a day made a significant difference. And then there's anxiety. Magnesium has been shown to reduce anxiety. And high blood pressure. Magnesium relaxes the smooth muscles that make up the layers of the arteries around the heart, as well as throughout the body, naturally decreasing the pressure. Type 2 diabetes. It has positive effects on the insulin levels in our body, helping to control blood sugar levels. Migraine headaches. Clinical studies have shown both tension and migraine headaches can be warning signs that the body does not have the proper amount of magnesium. Magnesium-rich foods include spinach, black beans, chard, avocados, pumpkin seeds, figs, yogurt, dark chocolate, almonds, and bananas. How much should we be taking? I would first of all talk to your primary care physician or healthcare provider. Talk to them about what you've learned in this video and also do a little bit of your own research. But I would recommend starting out with about 100 milligrams with each meal. And that's about 300 milligrams per day. Or if you eat 2 meals, that's 200 milligrams a day. And just see how you feel. Because remember, the amount of serum magnesium is very, very, very low. And to really get an accurate reading, you have to measure all three, and you have to go through. It's a kind of a tedious process to get an accurate account of what your magnesium level is. So a lot of this kind of goes on your symptoms and what you're feeling, and we've talked about those. Well, let's talk about the best types. Okay, so there's about 5 types that I think that are really good. There's magnesium chelate, there's magnesium citrate, there's magnesium glycinate, threonate, and there are magnesium oils. And all of these different types of magnesium supplements have their positive effects on the body. Well, we always got to talk about adverse side effects, precautions, etc. So let's look at just a few precautions with this magnesium. Avoid magnesium oxide. It just isn't absorbed very well. It's just not absorbed very well. It's cheap. You want to get something that is that's going to be absorbed. And so we've mentioned some of the more common ones that are recommended. If you have kidney or heart problems, take magnesium supplements only under the direction of your healthcare provider. As usual, you should always talk to and work with your healthcare provider before you consider taking any kind of supplement. But that's a general overview that hopefully gives you some useful information about magnesium. So hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you can follow along and learn more about staying healthy. Thanks and we'll see you next week.